Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency market continues aggressively toward the upside as Bitcoin continues to make brand new all-time highs. How high will Bitcoin rally? When will it see a pullback? How are those short-term charts developing? And when will the altcoin market experience its next leg toward the upside? These are the topics we're going to be answering in the video today. Before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, just pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, you can also join us on Telegram. That is the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop for cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you were interested in joining our VIP channel, you can do that by clicking the pinned comment. Go ahead and contact our admin, check out our entire 50+ month trading track record, or watch a 10-minute video showing you inside the channel. You'll get access to two channels, the main VIP group where we post trading setups with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, and exclusive analysis, including access to a variety of group chats from the general chat to the trading chart education chat to the daily video, the help, the trade setup, and the community setup chat. Check it out. We'd love to see you in there. Let's dive into the content. So taking a look at the price action, of course, Bitcoin has continued upwards, now creating a new all-time high on this daily candle close at around $111,500, having a fantastic breakout from that weekly range high and of 62.09 on the RSI. The short-term price action has been steadily rising, sitting above that 50 EMA, and it does seem to appear we do have a lot of absorption going on with this uptrend. So at the moment, it is safe to assume this uptrend is being sustained and it is being supported as we are seeing this continuation upwards, which is overall very bullish for the broader markets. The big questions, as we mentioned at the start, is how high will we see this rally go? When could we see short-term corrections? What do we expect to happen next on the short term? And really, when are we going to start to see some money flow back into the altcoin market, as we are beginning now over the last 24 hours, starting to see some leading altcoins move up 10, 15 to 20%. Let's start on the market data. 24-hour volume and liquidations. Volume is sitting pretty high. Overall, again, we have seen a lot of volume come into the market with Bitcoin creating a new all-time high. We're sitting at 324 billion over here, down 26%. Liquidations down 39% at 277 million. Majority of those coming from short positions. The DXY is continuing toward the downside over here. We do expect the overall downward trajectory to kick off and essentially reach that target in the next 6 to 12 months. Again, the speed of which this will play out and the short-term volatility will be heavily dependent on future interest rate decisions. We do know if interest rates are cut, we will likely see the DXY begin to continue this trajectory downwards. So we are paying close attention to that. Moving over to the S&P 500, not looking too amazing here on the short term. The higher time frame looks fantastic, provided we are able to sustain above this 5,700 level. This is a major area of support now. Provided we sustain above here, we are expecting eventual new highs, so bullish above 5,700. But on the short term, we do run the risk of corrections back to 5,700. We are currently retesting our prior level of resistance as a level of support. So we do not bounce from this current horizontal support. We could see another short-term leg down to 5,700. If we lose 5,700, we enter the danger zone because this will be a higher time frame, higher low, or should I say a lower high, which could commence this higher time frame downtrend. Until then, provided we sustain above 5,700 and ideally 5,800, the next leg up meaning the moving to these prior all-time highs will commence when the S&P 500 breaks through this local daily high. So the moment we are in a period of consolidation and indecision and potentially profit taking after what has been a fantastic rally, we're expecting a short-term healthy pullback. Before then we break through this region, that will be the trigger for a move back into all-time highs. And if we fail to do a bounce or we fail to sustain above 5,700, that will be the trigger for higher time frame downtrends. So overall, macro uptrends intact. We are just experiencing a little bit of weakness now for the first time since around about that breakout period at the start of April. Let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. Now, before we get into it, like we mentioned, we have a lot to take a look at today. Go ahead and sign up to BitGet, BitUnix, and BingX of the exchange links down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume. You'll support me making this content, and of course, you'll support yourself in your trading journey, trading on exchanges I trust, and getting those bonuses. We'll play an ad, and we'll jump right back in. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get back into it. So starting on the total cryptocurrency market cap, the total cryptocurrency market cap is looking fantastically bullish. And as we mentioned in yesterday's video, there's only two levels we are really paying attention to. Number one is our high time frame target. This is sitting at 3.6 trillion all the way up to 3.75 trillion. Represented by this horizontal gray box, essentially the range high of what was a multi-month consolidation prior to that correction back to 2.4 and a subsequent correction for Bitcoin to 74,000. This is going to be our high time frame resistance, and this is the point at which we need to break above to see the next macro leg up for the entirety of the market, not that these weekly uptrends. We're talking multi-month sustained and aggressive expansions for the market shall occur if we break through this major resistance. So this is a level of which a lot of weight holds to this level, because again, if we reject from here, we do run the risk of corrections. If we break through here, we will see and experience a very large rally for the market on top of what we have already seen. So if we're taking a look at this, our targets, of course, are going to be 3.6 to 3.75. We expect that level to be reached provided we sustain above two very important supports. Number one, we are watching the support, which is going to be this dynamic uptrend, which is a representation of the trajectory of the trend. This is the uptrend we have essentially been bouncing from and sustaining above since the lows at 2.4 trillion. We bounced once at around 2.4, and we bounced another time around 2.8, and we've been sustaining above this region ever since. So if we can sustain above this uptrend, the price will naturally move in that trajectory into that level of resistance. If we drop below this uptrend, we run the risk of a downtrend starting. So that is number one. And number two, we are watching the confluence point between the uptrend and our respective horizontal supports. That may be 3.33 trillion or 3.19 trillion, depending on the time of which the price actually comes back to retest that level. Ideally, we sustain above both of these regions, and worst case scenario, we lose the most recent higher lows. So when we look at this price action, we've got our lows, we've got our higher lows, we've got our higher lows. So a loss of this prior higher low would trigger a higher time frame downtrend into these higher time frame levels of support. Provided we sustain here, the overall macro trajectory is toward the upside. So when we look at this chart, the overall trend is bullish. the market is on an uptrend. The only risks we do really have is one, we fail to break through this major cluster of resistance. Number two, we fail to sustain above the diagonal uptrend. And number three, we drop below a most recent higher low. If any of those three things occur, we will likely see a correction for the market. Until then, any short-term pullbacks shall be considered healthy while the broader cryptocurrency market chart is in an overall directional uptrend. Let's move over to the altcoin market, because with Bitcoin going to new all-time highs, as we have seen, and of course the short-term charts for Bitcoin performing exceptionally well, a lot of people are wondering, the altcoin market is really suffering again. I think the last 2 years of price action has really shown us that the altcoin market is very different to what it was in 2020 and 2017. And this time around, we simply have so many more altcoins available. And yes, we have 10 times more money in the market, maybe even a little bit more than 10 times more money in the market, but we have 1,000 times more altcoins, meaning a lot more money gets distributed among an even greater amount of options in the altcoin market. So instead of seeing these cycles like we saw in prior cycles where altcoins perform exceptionally well and every single altcoin does well, we have seen and we are currently seeing a cycle where rotation is much more important, where money will move from one pool of altcoins to another pool of altcoins. We have these moments where some altcoins do very well in comparison to others, and some underperform the market in comparison to the ones that are just doing okay or overperforming. So when we're taking a look at the total cryptocurrency market cap, this is not going to be an indication of any particular one altcoin or how your altcoin is doing. It is going to be an indication of where the altcoin market is likely to move to, and then based on the rotations will determine how those altcoins will individually perform. But if we're looking at the direction of the altcoins, if the altcoin market cap is going up, the majority of altcoins will move up as well, but the percentage movements might completely vary depending on how those rotations occur. So when we're looking at when that next leg up or the next mini altcoin season will start for the altcoin market, we are watching the breakout. We're getting very close to this. The breakout of 940 billion, which is simply this level of resistance. If we break through this resistance, we expect a strong continuation up into this $1 trillion to $1.06 trillion level, and that will trigger the next explosive leg up for the altcoin market. In fact, this will be a very large move up for the altcoin market. If we look at the last move up for the altcoin market, this of course was the breakout of 940 billion. Over here, we saw about a 10% rally for the altcoin market. This would be a little bit more than 10%, up to around 12 to 13%. So we can even see, double the performance here for some altcoins in comparison to what they saw over here. We had the expectation of 15 to 30% for altcoin performance in this rally upon the breakout of 840 billion. We'd expect at least 30 to 50% performance for a lot of altcoins if we are able to break through 940 billion. Again, some altcoins will massively overperform that, some altcoins will massively underperform that, but the majority should reach around that level. So the next leg up for the altcoin market shall start above 940 billion. Now, for that to happen, we need to see, of course, the total cryptocurrency market sustain above the uptrend we just discussed, and we need to see Bitcoin continue upwards. So let's take a look at Bitcoin now on the short term. So here is the short term price action. You're probably looking at it saying, wow, this is a complete mess in terms of structural formations, in terms of horizontal levels. And as we mentioned in our prior video, as we move into price discovery, essentially horizontal levels of price, where we do not have historical data to show us how the price has reacted to these levels, the market is more or less finding its footing as it develops. So it's developing supports and resistance in real time because we do not have these levels preset. We do not have data based on how the price actions reacted in the past, because people make decisions based on how prices responded to specific levels in the past. Hence why levels of resistance exist, right? People put orders in sell orders where the price action has historically rejected from. That is what a resistance is. They've built up levels of sell orders based on how the prices responded. So when we're moving into areas where we have no historical resistance, or should I say historical price data, the market is developing in real time. So it becomes a lot harder for the market to get a grasp of where it's likely to go, and we end up moving into these more chop patterns toward the upside until we develop real structures. So when we're looking at this price action, guys, we have to look at invalidations and validations. Number one, the price action has been traveling along the 50 EMA before the breakout point. When we look at the breakout, the all-time high, it was sitting around this region here. So we've been sitting above the 50 EMA the entire time, even before that breakout, the all-time high. Therefore, we know this is going to be a trigger point. Provided we sustain above the 50 EMA, we'd expect continuations upwards. If we drop below the 50 EMA, we'd be watching for mean reversion back to the 200 moving average, wherever the 200 moving average may be at the time of which the 50 EMA is lost. If we're looking for immediate continuations toward the upside, there is absolutely no doubt that this is a bullish trend, of course. But we can also see the momentum is suggesting we do have a little bit of a weakness developing, particularly in the last few hours in this sideways consolidation, but that momentum is almost being absorbed. We can see the RSI has attempted to crack through this trend line again. If we are able to crack through this region, that next expansionary leg will begin toward the upside. Like we said, we have no historical resistance within these regions. Therefore, the price is going to be testing demand at every horizontal level it retests. For us to see the next leg up, we need to break through the horizontal resistance sitting at around $111,770. We can see that level is marked out by this horizontal ray we just put in the chart over here, which is essentially the highest hourly close in terms of the last period of about 12 hours of price action. If we are able to break through this region, we then expect the price to continue upwards. If we fail to do so, or we see deviation and correction, the target is going to be the mean reversion toward the 50 EMA. So that is how the short-term price action is going to play out. Again, no matter what happens here on the short-term price action, provided Bitcoin is able to sustain on the higher time frame chart above our range high, which is sitting at around 104.4k. This level here, the overall macro expectations will be bullish. Now, for it to be bullish, two things are going to happen. Number one, we need to sustain above the range high, but number two, momentum can't flip negative. So we come back and retest this level and we have positive momentum, we would expect continuations. If we come back and retest this level with negative momentum, the probability of corrections back down increases. This becomes deviation from the range and we'll see a steep correction play out. So it is looking good, but again, for the altcoin market, we need to see a little bit more. We need to see the price go a little bit up for the altcoin market to continue. And we're looking at the total cryptocurrency market cap for us to enter that clear sky range, for us to enter that next expansionary move toward the upside, where we see the market essentially go parabolic. We need to clear through this weekly level of resistance. Again, if we're drawing our momentum in, this is going to be our prior bearish divergence developing from these two highs. We had that bearish divergence resulted into correction. We haven't seen that breakout. So although Bitcoin is pushing new highs over here, because Bitcoin dominance has been rising for the last 2 years, the broader cryptocurrency market does look very good, but it is not in that parabolic phase yet. It's not in like, we're safe, everything's just going to go up, it's free money stage yet. It's getting close to it, but it's not quite there. We need to see that breakout. We need to see the total market cap clear this high and to see that strong continuation upwards. For that to develop, we need to see the altcoin market break through 940 billion, and we need to see this horizontal level hold as support. So overall, charts are looking fantastic. Short-term expectations very much likely to continue upwards. The big thing is the next opportunity, I believe, will be for altcoins over here. We will likely see some money rotating to altcoins if altcoins are able to break through 940 billion, provided the broader cryptocurrency market is able to sustain. And of course, as we move into that next weekly candle close, it is going to be very important that for the next 3 days, we are able to sustain above that $104,000 level. If we drop back below here at any point in time, that is going to be a major warning sign for a potential steeper correction. So bullish above, bearish below. That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you found it entertaining and educational, most importantly, and we'll catch you guys in our next video on Sunday. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you then.